This podcast is brought to you by Legend Comics and Coffee in Omaha, Nebraska, located in scenic downtown Benson. They got a new location. It's absolutely gorgeous. Check it out. And by listeners like you. Go to Patreon/Two-Headed Nerd. Become a patron. Support this show.
Once, they were two best friends managing a comic book store. But when an innocent blood oath went wrong, the two found themselves trapped in the same body, imprisoned in a strange pyramid made of long boxes, buried deep below their hometown, where they are doomed to discuss comic books until the end of time. They were once Joe and Matt. Now they are known as the Two-Headed Nerd. And this is their podcast.
Broadcasting from the Ziggurat at Omaha in caverns deep below the metro area, where Matt and I just learned the definition of Big Chungus. It's our pleasure to welcome you to another back issue show, episode 790 of the Two-Headed Nerd Comic Book Podcast. I'm your head number one, the internet's Joe Patrick. We're about a decade behind with the memes because we're old.
I was going to call Micah a big chungus when we get to him, but I want to make sure it wasn't a racial thing. It's not. It's about a big fat Bugs Bunny, as far as I can tell. So I don't know if he's a big chungus or not. I'm your head
you know what? If you want to start over and save that joke for Micah, I'm fine with that.
Nah, it's fine because I don't think it applies. I'm your head number two. My name is Matt Baum, and it's time for another back issue show where we dig deep into some classic comics in an attempt to truly understand if the writer was criticizing violent 80s action films or just writing about a psychotic maniac.
Why not both?
At this point, it's not clear.
Why not both? It's time for part two of our deep dive into Peacemaker's first DC miniseries from 1988. See episode 788 or part one. Whoa, serendipitous. Mm-hmm. Where we followed Chris Smith on his first globe-trotting murderous adventure through the DCU. Today we finish the job, and then we'll not only rate the series, but try and decide if Paul Kupperberg and Todd Smith were writing that tragic hero, or a deeply disturbed gun-toting maniac. Macho, fetch us our oversized helmets, our copy of the DSM-5, and Peacemaker Volume 2, Issues 3 and 4. It's back issue time in the Ziggurat.
Right away, Sir Joe. And good luck with your diagnosis, gentlemen. Here are issues 3 and 4 of the Peacemaker Volume 2 miniseries from DC Comics, 1988.
As you may or may not recall, when we left off in the end of issue 2, the Peacemaker had once again blindly stumbled, and when I say stumbled, I really mean kicked in the door and flew into a trap screaming.
Yeah, that's about accurate.
Yeah, which he's done a lot of in the first two issues, and it's going to continue in the pages of Peacemaker number 3 in a story called The Winds of War. We get a new letterer for this one, Albert de Guzman. We'll jump on.
Oh yeah, Al de Guzman. He's a classic.
Yeah. He's going to be here for the final 2 issues. Why we switch letterers? No info out there. Kupperberg's not talking about it.
I don't really think there's any story to it. This shit just happens.
I like to think there was something very personal going on, and the old.
It's not like today where all the lettering is done by 3 different gangs.
In
Matt.
good context, I can't, in good conscience, letter any more of this.
Yeah, the first guy was like, "Nope. I'm a pacifist, sir."
We begin with an ambush at the terrorist base where the Peacemaker storms an enemy compound, still pursuing the group responsible for the airport hijacking that happened in issue 2, which feels like it was 15 issues ago because so much shit has happened in so many locations in this book. He's ambushed by Micah, who we discussed in the previous episode, who is Tzin-Tzin's right-hand man. Micah is wearing a helmet jammer. So that thing he does with the radar that makes you have to poop or be in extreme pain. We're not really clear on what it does. All we know is it sucks.
Yeah,
it's not going to work here. It may work for everyone else in the crowd, but not on Micah. And he doesn't test it. He just takes his word for it and goes,
I don't think that's how a jammer works. I think a jammer just means that the thing just doesn't work properly.
Yeah, it's just jamming his helmet. That's all.
It's not like a mind pooping immunity device.
No, I'm just saying whenever we saw it turn on, it fired bat sonar and the bad guy was like, that sucks.
No. I mean what Micah has.
Oh, gotcha. What Micah has. Yeah. It's not entirely clear. From here, we get Todd Smith's most brutal fight yet, which is basically the two of them giving each other a bunch of haymakers and then kicking each other in the chest for a while Nazi Dad stands in the background saying some really racist stuff about Micah, who is not exactly white. I'm not sure what his background is, but he's definitely not white. I'll say that. Now, my question for you.
Micah, I mean, at the very least, Micah is dark-skinned and Nazi Dad's not down with that.
No. But my question for you is, Dad is dead. Living rent-free in Peacemaker's head, yes. But Dad is saying a bunch of racist thoughts. Knowing this, does that mean the Peacemaker is having these thoughts? No?
Of course not.
Sure?
No, I think that
Some
it's
small part of
it's
him?
No, it's like if my dad was dead and I was hallucinating my dead dad and I always hallucinated him working on his 55 Chevy, it wouldn't mean that I secretly love 55 Chevys. It would just mean that that's what my dad, how my dad was.
I mean, fair enough, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know if your metaphor
bear in mind,
carries over here.
Peacemaker's dad did off himself when Peacemaker was only 5. So his memories.
Yeah.
Not super detailed.
Yeah. Like he's a 5-year-old. I don't know if he knew about all that stuff, but
maybe he did research.
I mean, hey, who knows? This ends though with, more importantly, with a Bane style backbreaking of Micah. They fight for like 4 fucking pages. Yeah. And then
it's almost like the exact same panel, but from the backside angle.
From the backside. And let's keep in mind, Batman 497, 1993. I'm giving the original backbreaker to Paul Kupperberg and Todd Smith. Sorry. I'm afraid they ripped him off.
I think you heard it here first. Jim Aparo was a hack that stole that idea.
Ripping off Kupperberg. There's a key rack and everything here.
We're not claiming that. Obviously, Jim Aparo is a legend.
After he breaks Micah's back, he grabs the crappy remote thing, crunches it, and then proceeds to murder the entire elite squad, who, by the way, up to this point, we have not seen the elite squad do anything that I would categorize as elite. Would you? I mean, we saw them. They hit each other with sticks.
No, certainly not. Yeah. I mean, these are the guys that ostensibly were practicing their karate on the beach, right?
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, it was like when we checked in on the Mandalorian tribe that was all just like doing shitty Mandalorian stuff, and we were like, oh man, is this what Mandalorians do?
You guys just like weightlift and and spend time in the sauna? I thought you guys were badasses.
But I will say, Peacemaker, and again, we're not really clear on what happens when he's not in the jet instructing his father to fly the jet, but he does fly up in the air and the jet flies down and murders the elite squad. So once again.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've well established that he can control the jet maker via the helmet or via Ghost Dad.
Right.
Depending on, your political bent.
Just in case you missed it, we nicknamed the jet maker because
the jet maker, right. The peace copter and the jet maker.
It seems to have its own personality, which may or may not be a Nazi dad. Unclear.
It also looks like different Transformers from issue to issue, depending on the angle from which it's drawn.
So. Back in Switzerland, we finally get a look at the Pax Institute, which is a skyscraper that appears to be made of gold. That says,
we know that it obviously cannot be made of gold.
I know it is gold. It is. I'm not saying it is solid gold.
It's yellow.
It appears to be bright gold, and it's got Pax written on a red circle at the top. Welcome to the Pax Institute, right?
Yeah, 2 overlapping circles, I guess. The international symbol of peace. I don't know.
Of course. Dominique calls Lord Llewellyn, while topless poolside. She's getting some sun in.
Yeah. The second of 2 bikini scenes that I mentioned in the last episode.
And they just kind of like, she offhandedly mentions, hey, I couldn't help but notice Chris is not checking in. Do you think that's a problem?
It's at this point, they are so hands off when it comes to Peacemaker that I'm not surprised that nobody seems to give much of a shit.
Well, and even his girlfriend is like kind of leaning back a little bit, and she's like, oh, that is not a good sign. Last time I saw him, he seemed so near the edge. No, the last time you saw him, he was screaming at someone that wasn't there, and an unshaven mess.
Yeah, exactly. This is a very casual conversation to be having about a man with access to an arsenal of deadly weapons and military grade vehicles.
Not to mention World War III is at stake.
Loose in the world.
Right.
Again, out there running around doing stuff in your name.
Right. Again, I have to ask, where is Checkmate? Where is the JLA? Where is anybody in this DCU? Why can't the PAX Institute reach out? Is it because they know that they're fucking up? Is it because they're secretly not great? They're above board and they understand that they've hired a maniac to do this rather than, I don't know, paying anyone else with a gun in the DCU. There's plenty of talented people they could hire,
What's Wild Dog up to?
Maybe not Wild Dog, but you might be trading one crazy person for another.
Once again, I have to remind you that in order for these universes to work at all, we have to suspend our disbelief that they have solo adventures. Otherwise, Daredevil would be calling his best friend Spider-Man every time he needed to fight the owl.
No, and I get that. There's just nothing about this that roots anything in the DCU.
Except for the earlier mention of Vigilante, which definitely takes place in the DCU because he interacted with the Teen Titans. But yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with you, but yeah, it's like, so 1988, the Justice League had just reformed. They may not have even established Justice League International yet.
They're busy. I get it. They're busy.
So Justice League International is formed 7 or 8 months after Justice League #1, and Justice League #1 comes out in 1987. So Justice League International either has not yet been unveiled to the world, or they are brand spanking new and they're still getting their shit together, establishing their embassies and whatnot.
I guess.
So right now, the Justice League is one sleazy businessman, a couple of politicians, and then a bunch of loose heroes that they can barely control.
I guess.
It's a different world, Matt.
It's a different world. It's a different world.
The DCU that we're aware of.
I suppose. But let's just say Joe Patrick is Gunther Steiner, and not Gunther Steiner, who used to work in F1, who I love. He lost his job. It's too bad. We need him back. But Joe Patrick Gunther Steiner, he's seeing all this go down. Your crazy person hasn't checked in for a few days. They're definitely out there murdering people in your name. Shit's about to go down. And when I say shit go down, I don't mean Daredevil's having trouble with Mysterio. I mean American forces and Russian forces are lining up to kill each other and start a war. And you're not like, I should call somebody.
That's how it goes, baby.
The plan is the plan, and the plan is good. All right.
There is no shield. Checkmate is one thing, but Checkmate, even in the 80s, I never really got the impression that Checkmate was when Checkmate shows up, everybody stops and pays attention because they are the cops.
Okay.
Checkmate is an organization. Yes, they are peacekeepers. Yes, but
this just seems like Checkmate jurisdiction to me. I don't know. The spies and stuff and peacekeepers.
You are just obsessed with Checkmate. No. Look, Paul Kupperberg invented Checkmate. You don't think he knows?
Yeah. So exactly. So Paul, maybe write it in your damn book. I don't know. Regardless,
maybe this is why Checkmate gets formed. Maybe they're like, never again.
Could be. Yeah, because they were like, you guys are morons.
No, definitely not. Come on. I can't believe you went with me on that journey.
So back at the chalet, Chris shows up. This is the first time Kupperberg is drawing him like He's a mess. He's sweaty.
Todd Smith.
Oh, pardon me. This is the first time Todd Smith is drawing him as a mess. Like, he is unshaven. His hair is unkempt. He is out of it, right? And
he certainly doesn't look like a hot French lady who wants to have sex with him.
No. He shows back up at the plane. Keller is pissed. Just like, what'd you do to my plane? Is always because he likes planes more than people. We established that, right?
Just nothing. Tell him nothing. Sorry, Keller, nothing, because he's blind. And
that's rude. Keller knows. He feels the holes in the plane and stuff. It's like he's doing like mechanical braille. I don't know, but he can feel it. All right.
All right.
And if that's offensive, I apologize. But that is what's happening in this comic book. I'm just explaining it. All right. At this point, Chris full on yells.
Sorry. I'm just picturing Keller every single time he needs to work on any of these vehicles, just like slowly gliding his hands over it.
I guess that's what he does.
Because what else do you do?
There's no other way for him. No, the man is blind, and it wasn't my choice to make him blind. That was Kupperberg's choice.
No. DC made him blind.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
I would also add that he's always complaining about the condition of the vehicles every time they come back. We don't ever see like any of these vehicles take any damage on the page. They never. I mean,
you would assume that they do,
I guess,
but like Todd Smith certainly doesn't draw them like they're dinged up.
No, but Keller's is
like the jet maker on panel right now looks
fine.
Pristine.
It looks fine, but he's not having it. He's upset about this. He kind of barks at Chris. Chris straight up yells at him and insults.
Throws a coffee cup.
Yeah. So Keller is profoundly aware that Chris is nuts because he has a full-on tantrum, screaming at his dad, throwing coffee at nothing, storming around the hangar, yelling and screaming. And Keller's just sort of like, oh, man, I'm just going to haul this jet out of here and go fix it. Good Lord. We get another fun flashback.
I mean, I don't get paid enough for this. It's Keller's attitude.
We get another fun flashback with Dad with a gun in his mouth and Chris as a little kid. Dad, no, because we can't get enough of this.
And Ghost Dad refers to himself as a figment of Chris's imagination, and that comes as a shock to Chris.
Yeah. Well,
no, he's like figment.
Yeah, no, I guess you're right. And like, I mean, now we're realizing.
And Dad's like, yeah, unless you're an idiot that believes in ghosts.
Yeah. And then Chris has both his hands on his head and he's like, I don't understand. Like, you don't? Really? Like, oh man, maybe you're more fucked up than we think, Chris.
When we started this exercise, Matt, I did not think for a second that the version of Peacemaker that we get in the show is somehow better.
Yeah.
Than the version we get in the comics.
Certainly.
Because this dude is crap.
Yeah, like John Cena, say what you will, is well grounded in reality.
His mental health is not okay.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
he at least is a rational human being.
Right. It's not like, John Cena is not yelling at his dead dad and confused as to whether or not his dead dad is a ghost that he's talking to or a figment of his imagination. That's
right. At the beginning of Peacemaker season 2, when spoilers, he sees his dead dad, he knows that that's not right.
Yeah. As all of this is happening, the PAX Institute, not the chalet, the PAX Institute, the big gold skyscraper.
No, the gold building.
Is under a terrorist attack. So Chris has to suit up, jump back into the copter, because as we know, the jet maker is ruined after whatever happened.
Right. Now, look, I will say this for Kupperberg. When Chris rolls up in the jet, Blind Dog Keller says, I'm glad I'm blind because then I don't have to see the damage you've done to it. It sounds like you got marbles in that engine.
Yeah.
So he is going off of the sound of this sputtering jet.
I mean, sure, but also like he has to fix bullet holes and shit. Is he going off
There is no visual indicator, but at least Keller does explain what's wrong with it.
Fair enough. Peacemaker takes off in his helicopter, headed for the PAX Institute. We get a brief look at what's going on in Warsaw, Poland, which is setting up stuff that will happen in the next issue. Because, again, we can't just keep this in one place in like one.
We got wheels within wheels, baby.
Oh my God.
It's the DC espionage universe.
Yeah. We are learning that not everybody who is as they appear, and there's more going on than we think. And Doctor,
like right now, if you were somebody getting into DC Comics with the post-crisis, right? You're like, yeah, post-crisis, now's my chance. You would think that the DC equivalent of S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever is nothing but old dudes and French maids.
Right.
There's nothing at all to indicate that there is any sort of law enforcement on an international level in the DC universe.
No, none at all. And okay, so this whole thing in Poland is two of these guys having a talk about how evil Doctor Tzin-Tzin is. He's so evil and dangerous. And really, up until now, all we've kind of seen him do is distract the Peacemaker and launch some terrorist attacks. It didn't work really well. He did kill a bunch of people in Russia, a bunch of government officials. So bad guy.
Right. The Politburo. Yeah.
Right. But we're also learning that he's in deeper than we think. And we're going to find out soon here. But first,
I mean, we know that we know that Dr. Tzin-Tzin is so evil that Peacemaker's buddy's friend willingly sold out his entire country to help him.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know,
I mean, hey, because Poland at this point, they're trying to wrest themselves free of Soviet control.
Right.
So this is very topical.
Yeah. So but they also kind of want bad stuff to happen to the Soviet Union, but they don't like working with Dr. Tzin-Tzin because he's really, really bad.
However, Dr. Tzin-Tzin is going to kill all the Russians.
Like the enemy of my enemy, right? I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
You know.
Right.
So
yeah,
a lot going on. A lot of wheels within wheels, as you said. Back at the PAX Institute, all hell is breaking loose once again. We go back to nameless, faceless terrorists with bazookas and machine guns. The Peacecopter shows up and the Peacemaker is screaming. Staying on theme here. I'll give him that.
I'll kill them all. I want to point out there's this panel of the guard at the PAX Institute which by the way is in Switzerland, but the guard is exclaiming in German. Gott in Himmel. Get back inside, yada, yada, yada. And he's being shot from behind because we can see the muzzle flash.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like,
but every part of his body is exploding from the front.
Well, maybe it's coming out of him. And like the PAX Institute.
Exit wounds. Yeah,
exit wounds. And the PAX Institute's kind of like the UN. They work with people all over.
You know what? International. Yeah, you're right, Matt.
Come on.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be racist against Germans.
Dad does tell the Peacemaker, like, hey, man, all the terrorists are right there. Why don't we just shoot a surface to air missile at them, blowing up the building and all the innocent people that are right. This is where I'm going back to, was Peacemaker having these thoughts? Because I get that Dad was a Nazi. Dad said racist stuff. Sure. But there's no evidence that Dad was like a moron that just fired missiles.
A kill them all and let God sort them out.
Yeah, I mean, like, he was running a concentration camp. Yes. Like, I'll give you that.
Yeah, but efficiently so, right?
The most exactly. Efficient. Right. And it would not make sense to be like, well, the best way to kill everyone in this concentration camp is to blow it up. Well, you'd kill all the soldiers there, too. Idiot.
Right. No, you know? I think you're right. I think that there is a blurring of lines here. There is Chris's memory of his father's politics, and then also Chris's subconscious desire to just obliterate everything in a square block to save himself some trouble.
And keep in mind, the stuff that we've learned about his past is that when he went to Vietnam, the first thing he did, apparently, was murder an entire village of innocent people.
Women and children. Right. And I mean, so to Chris's credit, though, he decides that that's a bad idea.
Yeah. And like the stuff that Dad is saying, do not be sentimental, idiot. It is a thing of steel and concrete. It has no feeling. It is nothing. He's talking about the PAX Institute building that's full of people. But death, that is an accomplishment. That is a thing a man may feel pride in the doing. this is our boy Chris. Like having these thoughts.
He's a hero. He's a heroic.
So he's flying around, gritting his teeth, firing a gun, presumably murdering people. They're showing some people flying through glass and stuff.
I mean, terrorists, yeah.
But in this next panel, he is shooting a dude that is just straight up running away from him. The back.
I mean, his back is turned, yes.
Yeah.
Is he running away from Peacemaker? I don't know.
Kind of looks like it. He comes.
His back is definitely turned, yes.
Yeah, pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. Chris takes a hostage, throws him in the copter, and again, tortures him. Just straight up tortures the guy to get the information we have. Now,
yeah,
I will give you.
Dangles him out of the peace copter.
How many times have we seen Batman hang someone over a building, wrap a batarang around him, threaten to drop him?
Sure, but I've never once thought that Batman was actually going to drop a man.
That's true. And I will say, not only is Chris hanging this guy out of the helicopter, he's also punching him in the face, really roughing him up, and then hanging him out of the helicopter to get information out of him.
Yeah.
In the aftermath, the Peacemaker learns that two generals, NATO's General Barstow and Warsaw Pact Generals Koskov, have been mentally conditioned by Tzin-Tzin. Their altered orders put troop movements on a collision course that could spark open conflict at the upcoming Berlin Peace Summit. Man. And it's obvious. Like, this is what the guys in Warsaw were talking about. They were in the know a little bit, and they were like, what do we do? Yeah. Let them kill each other.
But yeah, these guys have been straight up Manchurianed.
Yeah, absolutely. Brigitte, in the meantime, apparently finally worried enough to leave poolside, decides to go looking for her boyfriend in Athens, Greece. So we're back.
Right. Exactly where everyone knows he went. Athens, Greece.
Well, to be fair, this is where the guy that Doctor Tzin-Tzin, that Micah killed, that found out was an insider working for PAX, he last broadcast from Doctor Tzin-Tzin's island, which is off the coast of Greece. They don't know exactly where.
Well, and yeah, so she's actually not looking for Chris. She's looking for an informant who might have knowledge of Tzin-Tzin's base. And so she's looking for this guy named Constantine.
Yeah, I think she also thinks Chris is on this trail, though. I think because she mentions.
Well, she says it. She says it right here. She's looking for an informant who might have knowledge of Tzin-Tzin's base. The man's name is Constantine. Oops, Constantine couldn't make it. It's a trap.
Yeah, of course it's a trap. And I'll tell you what, this is where we see Brigitte in action. Takes 3 dudes out. No problem. So badly that one of the dudes like, she knocked 3 of my teeth out. Brigitte's kind of a badass, but she gets cracked in the skull, put on the boat, taken to Tzin-Tzin's island. More on our friend Brigitte in a little bit here.
Oh yeah, there it is. That bitch cost me 3 teeth.
Yeah.
This is where I was like, the first 2 issues, I was like, yeah, lots of gun violence, but it's all pretty bloodless. This is the point where I went, oh, bitch, they didn't put mature readers on this at all.
I know. Yeah. And like they're kind of.
And they did not.
They did not. But I mean, maybe we were more mature back then. I don't know.
I guess.
Hard to know. Yeah. Different times. We check in East Berlin, the field headquarters of the NATO ground forces, where now we get to see the American general, I think it was Barstow or whatever, get the whammy put on him. Whereas like he picks up the phone and he hears the days of strife are soon to be upon us. Now is the time. Click. Bzzz, and he's whammied. He's messed up.
Credit to Kupperberg for having some characters here that are like, something's not right.
Well, I suppose. Yeah. I mean,
like this is a multi-layered story, and to his credit, obviously not all of the wheels on the bus are staying on.
Right.
And I think that's clever.
And
like some of the people involved are like, the generals lost it.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do something about it.
And a lesser writer is probably just off panel, like, they figured out the general was crazy, whatever. So maybe he's giving us a hint, putting it on the page, as we like to say.
Or a lesser writer is just like, yep, everybody involved was totally cool with those orders.
We don't question orders here in the military. No time for this discussion because it's back to Paris for more globe-trotting. Following the leads from the PAX attack, the Peacemaker tracks escaped terrorists to Paris he discovers evidence of dirigibles being stockpiled, hinting at a massive aerial operation connected to Dr. Tzin-Tzin's master plan. They call it a dirigible in this to make it seem more dangerous. But if you know what a dirigible is, it's a blimp. It's just a blimp, folks.
Well, yeah, but it's a blimp that's all,
I mean, I guess, whatever. Murder. Here we get to see.
Now, to be fair, Chris is like, what the hell is this? Dirigibles are anachronistic. Why would he be using dirigibles?
Well, and to be fair, they can fly low under the radar.
Nazi Dad says they are big and silent and a shape that makes them difficult to spot on radar. What? And Chris thinks that's hilarious and starts laughing out loud to nothing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's really slipping at this point. But in true character, he shows up, blows open a wall, murders a bunch of people, leaves one of them alive, and then kills a guy, shoots a guy that's about to throw a grenade at him several times in the chest. I assume this guy blows up after that, but they don't show it on panel.
You know what? I don't think the guy had a chance to get the pin out.
Okay. I mean, if you say so, it looks like he's biting it out right here, but
it looks like he's got the pin in his mouth,
I suppose.
But then Chris ventilates him. So, but this is 80s bad guy tough right here, though. He busts open the thing and he's like, you have me, Peacemaker, but you'll die with me, madman.
Yeah.
And Peacemaker's like, no, thanks.
Yeah.
Buddha, 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 Buddha.
Right. It's the are you feeling lucky punk?
Yeah, right. It's like, did I fire 5 shots or 6? Right. I've got other plans, he says. Yeah.
Aboard the massive dirigible, we see Dr. Tzin-Tzin. He's on a different blimp and he is flying.
The SS Tzin-Tzin.
Yeah. The SS Tzin-Tzin. Yes. He cannot believe the Peacemaker took out that badass Micah. Like, that was the whole plan. Send Micah. He's going to handle this.
A big chungus like Micah?
Yeah. And just in case you forgot what was going on, Dr. Tzin lays out his entire plan one more time. It is issue 3. Time for a refresher. Appreciate that. Next month, peace and war in issue 4. So far, we have collected a lot of evidence about Chris and his mental state. It's not looking good for our boy, but maybe he's going to make it all better in issue 4. Let's see.
Sure. Yeah. Let's fingers crossed. The back matter in this issue gives bios for several members of Team Peacemaker, like Keller, Brigitte, maybe is the other one.
Brigitte. Yep. Dominique
and
Sinclair.
Again, can't stress it enough. Don't read it.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
It's just basically backup. Yeah.
It's so many words.
It's more information on them and why they know that Chris is crazy and he does not. We forgot to mention
Lord Ross Llewellyn. Yeah. We don't need to know all this deep background.
We forgot to mention we both really liked the cover of issue 2. I think the cover of issue 3, just as good. Just as good. Great cover. And I bring this up.
I think the cover of number 3 is good. The cover of number 2 should have been the cover of number 1.
Absolutely. The cover of number 4 is not great.
What?
We got Peacemaker with ripped up pants, all spread leggy, pointing guns and yelling.
I will grant you, my days of being flexible are long behind me, but no man on earth can stand that bow-legged.
No. Well, I mean, like, it's not clear if he's standing or falling and falling into the madness, maybe, or it's none of that is really clear. But we got the.
You know what? I like the idea that maybe he's like falling backwards.
I think so. I think they're sort of trying to illustrate I'm falling into Dr. Zin's plan. The Soviets are on one side, the Americans are on the other, and he's just like lost it. He's crazy, and Dr. Zin's eyes are in the background. I think
Like if you tried to stand on solid ground like this, your legs would not.
No.
Like the muscles that you need would not be present to support your weight.
No, wouldn't work. But I don't think that's the point. I think the point is,
no,
he crazy.
He crazy, yeah.
The issue opens with the Peacemaker starting shit in Paris. He's still just like
terrorizing a French village.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they say it's Paris, but it looks like a small village.
Well, he's on the out. It says Paris, France, the city of lights, very heart of the romance and love. But there are also dark places in Paris where love has no meaning. Here, there is only lust for power, for flesh, for wealth, and for blood. Like, okay, Paul. Like,
yikes.
Whoa.
Ooh la la. Zoot alors.
I got to ask at this point, because like the PAX Institute, which is bullshit, it's just a cover for the Peacemaker, objective or whatever, Project Peacemaker. Project Peacemaker has no real government backing. It seems to me right now.
Right. It doesn't.
It doesn't. Yeah. It seems to me right now, Chris is just a murder vigilante working for some rich people.
Yeah, I know. It's true.
That want him to stop, legit want him to stop Doctor Tzin-Tzin, but literally have no jurisdiction anywhere.
I mean,
is that fair?
Look,
the dude has to peel out when the French cops come. He can get arrested.
Superhero universes are lousy with vigilantes. Chris is just better funded.
I mean, I guess. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, it's not that much different than Batman.
Like, imagine if Batman's massive fortune also came with a huge support staff instead of one old man.
Well, sure. And Batman also goes to other countries and definitely does things out of his jurisdiction against government.
You betcha. That habeas corpus, never heard of her.
Chris is flying around Paris, and there is a scene, and it's not totally clear if Dad is sitting cross-legged next to Chris while he's flying, or Dad is sitting on Chris's back, riding him like a horsey.
Now, I know that he is meant to appear that he is sitting cross-legged next to Chris, but my heart says that he is straddling Chris like a pony.
I'm just going to say it is not clear.
It's so fun, though.
Military forces on both the NATO and the Warsaw Pact sides are on high alert. They don't know that they are being guided by Tzin-Tzин's brainwashed generals, but they do know. They're all kind of talking about it, and they're all like, this does not make any sense at this point. At least,
and again, like credit to Kupperberg for writing a complex, story here with a group, with a soldier that knows enough to know that his CO is not in his right mind.
Yeah. And Barstow, he's over it. He's like, do you think it's possible that two old experienced war horses like General Koskov and myself just might know something about strategy and tactics after all these years? I think you better leave the decision to the big boys and keep your opinions to yourself. Is that understood, soldier? And soldier guy's like, perfectly, sir. But something is wrong. This is in his head. But something is wrong. Damn it. He's got half our guns pointed in the wrong direction.
Right.
But also, he's too experienced to make such a stupid blunder.
Yes.
Something's going on, dude.
It's so... This decision is so irresponsible, so unexpected.
It doesn't make any sense.
So outlandish that this soldier is like, something's... It's not just that the general is making weird choices. It's that there is something clearly wrong with the general.
Right. He crazy. The world stands on the brink of World War III, but the Peacemaker is on his way in the Peacecopter, and the good people at PAX gave him the secret NATO radio frequencies so he can listen in and he knows what's going on. That is not to say that he's listening to anything, because the entire time that he is flying, he appears to be violently shaking the controls of the helicopter and screaming at his Nazi father. They finally have a
ghost dad.
Big blowout. Yeah, screaming at ghost dad.
I love this scene because Chris is like, why won't you just leave me alone? Get out, leave me alone. And Wolfgang is just like, well, why didn't you say so? And then he suicides himself out of the jet.
He's like, if that is your out of the peace
Out of the copter.
Yeah. He's like, if that is your wish,
And he's
mein
like-
Kinder, Sieg Heil! And he jumps out. Sieg Heiling. Just dives
Giving the
out.
Nazi salute as he dives out.
Okay, but this is where it gets super gnarly. Chris is like, yeah, I'm over it. I've made a breakthrough. Curse you. Get out of here. All my life you've abandoned me. Every time I've ever needed you, you go and kill yourself. Which is, I guess he's just like reliving the suicide here when he jumped out of the helicopter. Well, go. I don't need you anymore. And now I'm free of you. Ha ha ha. Free of you at last. Ha ha ha. And then Dad appears right behind him. There, Christopher. I trust our game has made you feel better. And Chris starts crying and says, yes, thank you, Father. Like, okay. He's gone.
Yeah, but like not even like in like racking sobs, like in that
childlike terror.
Slow tears of a man that's been broken.
Yeah.
And he's like, yes, I feel much better now.
Chris is gone. He's officially gone.
Yeah.
Back in Athens, Greece, our girl Dominique is waking up. I really like her hair is just kind of wild and flowing at this point. She's not all done up. She looks great.
Tussled.
Looks great, though. Love it. She sees the troops. They're all assembling to get on a plane. She's like, I got to tell Christopher. I got to tell the agency. I got to tell someone. I'm not going to call Superman because he's probably busy. But
all right.
But first, I got to get out of this damn cell. We go back to the Berlin Wall. Party going on. Everybody's excited. This is going to be the best. Our troops are going to come together, Joe. The wall is going to come down. Everyone. And this is right around the time when the Berlin Wall came down. So it was like huge news.
It's the year before the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Right. This is very topical. All signs were pointing to like this was going to happen. So the Peacemaker shows up at the Berlin Wall, but all he's doing is coming there is because he listened to the NATO stuff. He still has no idea what Tzin-Tzin's plan is. Just knows there's blimps involved. That's it. And they're probably going here. He looks like shit. He is freaking out. He's punching
he's
shit.
cackling like the Joker.
Oh, yeah. He's crazy at this point. Totally unshaven. His eyes are bloodshot. He's going nuts. Tzin is on his way in the death blimp. He reminds us he wants to take down the Soviets, and it's time to launch his plan. Before we launch the plan, he reminds us what the plan is again for the fourth time. And we get a shot of Ronald Reagan and what's his head?
Mikhail
Gorbachev on TV. And I would say, I'm glad both men have passed away, because if they were alive, they should definitely press charges against Todd Smith for this likeness.
Yeah, but you know what? I knew who they both were immediately. Even without any
but it looks like a comical, like a political cartoon where they're making fun of him. Maybe.
Sure.
He
looks like that puppet of Ronald Reagan from that music video.
Right. It ain't good.
From the 80s.
So Dr. Tzin-Tzin says, today is the day. The wall comes tumbling down. Now, Dr. Anthony, launch my plan. And the code word is Excelsior.
Whoa.
What's going on there? Huh? Who do you think that's aimed at? Is that a shot across Stan Lee's bow there? Huh?
I'm not sure to what end, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Paul got fired. Who knows? The nameless super terrorists attack. Troops attack the Soviet forces on the border. The Peacemaker is fighting the super terrorists, but he's seeing Dad. This is just pure insanity at this point. It all goes nuts.
So this is an army of super terrorists like we had at the beginning with Razorback, not that Razorback, and then the other two dudes that got murdered. There's more of them now. They're all unnamed, but I do want to point out it is never addressed, and I don't think it's him. But there's a guy in the back in this panel where they bust through the wall.
Right.
There's a guy in the back. The coloring is off, but he's all blue, and it looks like he's shooting something from something attached to his forehead.
Yeah, I assume his name is Laserhead.
That is the costume of the Calculator.
The Calculator had a laser on his head?
No,
okay.
But like he looks like the Calculator used to look before they made him into like the anti-Oracle in the 2000s.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, it's the calculator. But it's not. It's just some guy wearing a costume that kind of looks like the calculator.
This is Laserhead.
We'll call him Laserhead. Sure.
Laserhead. Not important, though, because as we've learned, whenever these nameless terrorists show up, they're around for maybe 3 pages.
He's not even the only guy that's got a laser on his head.
No, there's more than one Laserhead guy.
There's a purple guy flying with a laser on his head.
A smaller laser, but a laser. Laserhead and Laserhead Jr.
Well, yeah.
The son of Laserhead, perhaps.
Son of Laserhead gets to fly.
I'm Laserhead, and I am son of Laserhead. El Hijo de Laserhead shows up. The balloons have gone up. Tzin-Tzin is leading with a superpowered terrorist. It's just like all hell is breaking loose. Peacemaker.
This guy looks like Adam Strange. Todd Smith cannot figure out a costume.
No. Peacemaker does not even know where to start. So he does what he does and just starts aimlessly killing people.
Firing indiscriminately into the crowd.
There are innocent people all over the place, mind you. Like, these guys just attacked what is effectively a gigantic gathering of peaceful,
a rally. Yeah,
a rally. There are people that are here to see the Berlin Wall come down. Everybody's in great mood. There's balloons, marching bands, and shit. It's a bad scene.
He fires a missile.
Yeah, several of them.
It would be one thing if he was like targeting them with machine guns and firing specifically at them. But no, he shoots a missile, which can only do one thing, and that's explode.
Right. We cut to the NATO forces and the communist forces. The two generals are like, let's kill each other. Open fire. We crazy. Yeah. Like, this is bad, bad, bad. Peacemaker is totally outnumbered. Not much he can do about it. Now, there is an interesting scene here where the Peacemaker is fighting a terrorist, seeing his father. He's fighting his father, right, in his head, even though he appears to be fighting a terrorist in green and yellow. And the terrorist is like, what is this guy even talking about here? Right.
Right. Yeah.
So he's punching them around, thinking he's killing dad. He's out of his mind, murdering guys that are clearly defeated and murdering the hell out of them. Right. Meanwhile, our girl Dom escapes. Obviously the elite squad, they're a bunch of morons. So she sets up a trap with a bucket that I assume is full of her waste. Maybe that's the toilet bucket.
I think it's I think it's a water pail.
I mean, that's what you pictured. I think they had her pooping in there, but regardless.
Well, you know what? It's probably best not to dwell too much on what's in the bucket.
She bashes dude with his own gun. She escapes.
I don't know if she was captive long enough to fill an entire bucket full of waste.
I'm not saying it was totally full, but she went to the bathroom in there. She used it. I'm not saying she filled it. I mean, Dominique, we didn't see any scenes where Dominique ate a whole bunch of falafel before she came to the island.
She was in Greece, right?
Yeah.
So she had a bunch of kebab, lamb kebab.
Yeah. Huge gyro. Yeah, just taking it to the head.
God, that tzatziki's going right through me.
So she escapes. She sees there's a bunch of nuclear missiles here, and she realizes that they are aimed in the direction of the Soviet Union. Which, sure. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to the north, but the Soviet Union's up there too.
I mean, technically right.
Yeah, it's a good call, I guess. The U.S. troops are firing on their own troops. They're going nuts. They're figuring out something is not right. We cut back to the Peacemaker, who's still just murdering and screaming.
Oh, but
shooting indiscriminately.
Now he sees everything as his dad.
Right. So I go back to the marching band, the innocent people, everyone that was there. Everyone in front of him in this panel looks like his father as he is.
But they also have machine guns.
Do they? Do they, Joe? We don't know that.
I mean, his father never carried around an M16.
He's his Nazi dad, okay? I'm saying he cannot trust what he sees at all in this point, and he is indiscriminately.
I think that there's room to interpret either way. I think maybe if you want to say, maybe he gunned down some innocent people, then maybe he did.
He is indiscriminately spraying bullets at this group of his father. Would you agree with that statement?
Yes, but I think that we are meant to assume that they are all terrorists.
I suppose. Okay. The Peacemaker, after mowing down this army of his father, who may or may not be actual terrorists, jumps back in the Peacecopter and flies straight up. Now, I want to stress the fact that when he came to Paris, all he knew was that Tzin-Tzin's got a blimp. That's it, right? No, when he came to Berlin, pardon me. Tzin-Tzin's got a blimp. He's probably going to Berlin. That's where all the action's going to be. He does not know where this blimp is, what direction it's coming from, but he gets in the Peacecopter, flies straight up.
He says, I have to find Dr. Tzin-Tzin.
Yes. And then he instantly finds this blimp because we're running out of pages. So.
Yeah, right.
Call it luck.
It's page 6. It's page 16 already. We only have 6 more to go.
Right. Our first Peacemaker cliffhanger happens here where Dr. Tzin-Tzin has sees him coming and he's like, all right, shoot him down. Boom. They blow up the copter. End of issue. Peacemaker is dead. Dr. Tzin-Tzin gets away with it. The end.
There is no Soviet Union in the DC universe because Dr. Tzin-Tzin is successful.
Off panel, the Peacemaker is alive and does his patented bust into wherever I'm going screaming move. This time it's a dirigible. I admit that I don't totally understand how dirigibles work, but it seems like blowing a hole in the side of one to fly into it is not a great idea. Right?
Well, there's the undercarriage, there's the dirigible part where the helium is.
I mean, I suppose.
But then there's the undercarriage, which is like the cockpit.
Okay, that's fair.
The command center.
That's fair.
But still, though, if I'm in a submarine.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not going to be shooting guns off inside the submarine.
And also, as we know, blimps are full of hydrogen, and sometimes they catch on fire.
Hydrogen, right? Not helium.
And they explode, and we have the Hindenburg, right? The humanity. Right. And the Peacemaker is not exactly in a mode where he's thinking about any of that, and he is indiscriminately shooting people on this dirigible.
Yeah. And so, but I mean, even though they are in the kind of under part where you have the little command center, if he was strong enough to bust through the bottom of it to get into the thing, those bullets are going to be tough enough to get through the top of it to get into the explodey part.
Yeah, and you exploded your way in. So there's a lot going on here. Dom, in the meantime, our girl Dominique, she has got to figure out what the story is of these missiles. So she busts into the control center, which... Dominique is a capable girl. We know that. She's kind of an international super spy. I'll buy. She knows how to tappa and figure some stuff out.
She picks a lock. She hacks a computer.
But she gets to the computer and she hacks it by typing subject : missile targets.
I don't know if that's what she did to get into the computer.
Perhaps. I don't know. But she figures everything out with where the missiles are pointing at this point.
She does a Google search.
Yeah.
How do I reprogram automated missile turrets?
She is realizing that these are going to hit the Soviet Union, so she's got to steer them somewhere else. So she's like, how about, I don't know, this thing on the radar that is flying towards Berlin? That is all the information she has. She does not know. One, she doesn't know there's a blimp. Chris hasn't even told her that Dr. Tzin-Tzin has a blimp. Two, all she knows is something may be going down in Berlin, and there's something on the radar flying there.
All right, now look, this is what she says. There's something flying 5 miles over Berlin. Too low to be a satellite, too high to be an aircraft. It's holding steady, so it's not a plane. She does some deductive reasoning.
And then she decides,
she's like, I gotta pick a target.
I'm gonna shoot a bunch of nuclear missiles.
Might as well be this one.
These are intercontinental ballistic missiles. Now, one would be fine. She's gonna shoot them all at the blimp. This is still
is there not something where they say that the warheads were deactivated?
I don't see anything like that.
Well, because clearly they're not nukes by the time they explode.
Well, I mean, from what the information we have, they are called intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs. That's all we know. So
Oh, so they weren't nukes. I think that they could have had nuclear warheads, but I think these are just missiles meant to lay waste to the Soviet Union.
Meant to destroy the entirety of the Soviet Union, which seems like a job for a nuclear missile to me. there's knock some stuff down, and there's flatten completely, obliterate, atomized. Yeah, you know, I think you understand the difference between the two. Regardless, on the blimp, Peacemaker is screaming, shooting, and it's Dr. Tzin-Tzin's turn to act. And so he does his...
Oh, time out. Oh. Sorry. I went back. She says, Mon Dieu, mobile ICBM rocket launchers and radar equipment. Those missiles are capable of carrying nuclear payloads, but the warheads look as though they are carrying conventional explosives.
She's making a lot of logical leaps, is all I'm saying.
Matt, she is a capable international espionage
nuclear
agent.
Missile expert who can look at a missile.
Don't tell you your job, happiness engineer.
Who can look at a missile and be like, well, that's obviously not a nuclear missile. That obviously is, though.
Sure.
Maybe the tips are shaped different. I don't know. Regardless, the Peacemaker is fighting, and Dr. Tzin-Tzin makes his move. It's time to brainwash the Peacemaker with his ancient...
Apparently, metahuman abilities. Yeah, Dr. Tzin-Tzin can hypnotize people.
Well, we've seen him do it. We saw him coax information out of one of the guys on the island.
So you're right. And you know what? I blocked that out. You're right. He
brainwashed the two generals at some point.
Well, yes, but you know, brainwashing can take many forms. Like, he is he's got the ringmaster little woo woo woos coming out of his eyeballs.
But I think it was supposed to be clear that he did that to these generals, and that's why they're doing the dumb shit that they're doing. Right. So when he does this, we, of course, get another scene of Dad with a gun in his mouth.
Perhaps. Is it our last? We'll see.
If you're keeping track, I think we're up to 8 scenes.
I mean, 2 per issue. Sounds about right.
Right. While this is happening, our girl Dom, she's launching the missiles. The Peacemaker is freaking out. The missiles are inbound. Dr. Tzin-Tzin is distracted. The Peacemaker is fighting his dad. He sees his dad brainwashing him, and he's so pissed at his Nazi dad that he overcomes the brainwashing to attack what he thinks is his father, or the ghost of his father, or a figment of his imagination that looks like his father. Unclear.
Sure. Right.
But he is physically attacking it.
One thing we can say for certain is that he is not in his mind fighting Dr. Tzin-Tzin.
No, but he does beat Dr. Tzin-Tzin to death with his hands.
I mean, presumably. I don't think it goes that far.
I don't know. Maybe it's interrupted by the bevy of nuclear missiles.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. Like, if Dr. Tzin-Tzin dies before the missiles hit, it happens off panel.
Yes.
Because he's still pounding away when we see the missiles approaching.
And it's several of them. It's quite a few. Hit the blimp. Ba-boom. The Peacemaker dies in action.
That's it.
Above Berlin. End. Dr. Tzin-Tzin's plan is foiled. We cut to the chalet in Geneva, where Lloyd and Brigitte, in an adorable little outfit with ruffles in her sleeves and like a lace-up thing. Oh, she's just the cutest. They're having lunch, and they're just talking about like, oh, man.
Stein is here, the American.
Yep. The gang sums up the rest of the fight. They're like, the troops figured out everything was screwed up. The generals were brainwashed. They arrested those guys. The blimp exploded. The terrorists were all dead because the Peacemaker murdered the fuck out of them.
We're going to say that all the terrorists are dead because everybody in the square is dead.
Well, right. And we can assume anybody else got rounded up by...
Peacemaker murdered everybody in the square.
We can rest assured the rest got rounded up by the Soviet troops and the American troops. They were doing good. And they're like, too bad about that Peacemaker, man.
The calculator got away. Sorry.
He tried his best. It's been 4 days. He's definitely dead. Or Stein, our American guy, says, I'm sorry, Dominique. But look, he was last sighted in Berlin in the thick of the fight where he took off after that. Well, it's been days, honey. If he was coming back, she's like, he already would have returned. I just thought he might have been found. Nope. we haven't found anything. We figured Smith must have gone after Tzin-Tzin. That explained why the good doctor has also disappeared from sight. But he must have got him. The poor crazy bastard. These assholes don't give a shit. Like,
also, the level of due diligence here, it's like the blimp that we know was holding the mastermind behind the plot to start World War III exploded. We spent 4 days looking for his body.
Sure.
But couldn't find it. Nope. Well, I guess it's fine.
Yeah, he's dead.
Guess it's fine.
Yeah. What are you supposed to do? This is comic book logic. But in true comic book logic form, Chris lives. He's just been flying around in the same outfit. He has not showered. He has not shaved. It's been 4 days. We don't know what happened because it was all off panel. And all he says is, please, Harry, give me some credit for intelligence, will ya? And they're like, Chris, my word, Mr. Smith, well, I'll be. And Dominique's like, oh, Christopher, my love, we thought you, oh, it does not matter. You are back. And he's like, just barely. I was on Tzin-Tzin's command post, a dirigible, when radar warned me of some incoming ICBMs. So I bailed out with my jetpack. Unclear if he beat Tzin-Tzin to death or not before the explosion. So, just as there was mystery that Chris may or may not have died, we don't know if Dr. Tzin-Tzin is dead. One thing we do know, happy ending for our boy Chris and his
one
girl,
thing we
Dom.
do know is that Dr. Tzin-Tzin did not have a jetpack.
Dr. Tzin-Tzin did not have a jetpack. But happy ending. The crisis is over. I'm just fine. I'll give you my full report a little later. And you can. And Dom's like, tomorrow, darling. First, you need to clean up and rest. And well, tomorrow, enough to think of business, right? Cut 2. Ghost Dad still here as well. Sitting in the back, having a drink. Soon, Christopher, soon. The end. Now.
Yeah.
We have come to the conclusion of the 4th issue of this Peacemaker mini. And we have to ask ourselves, did we read a hero's journey?
No.
No, I agree. Absolutely not. This man is dangerous. This man is psychotic. This man is deeply troubled. Deeply troubled.
I mean, I also don't think that, like, we're necessarily meant to think of him as a hero in the traditional sense. He did some good.
They kind of gave him a hero's end.
Sorta.
Where he's like walking off with his girlfriend. They're going to go take a shower and make out. And they did it. And we saved the day. You know, like, this is what I'm unclear on. The nature of what Kupperberg, the story he's trying to tell here. Because it'd be one thing if they killed him and it was a tragic story of this guy that was used and he was totally crazy and went really bad, or they didn't kill him and the last panel is him listening to these assholes going, poor crazy bastard, and the Peacemaker is peeking over the, you know, the chalet like deck and he's like, I'm gonna fucking show you assholes, and his dad's on over his shoulder like, soon, yes, Christopher, we will pay them back. You know, like, both of those endings make way more sense than what we get here. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, he does have a heroic ending, yes. No, I mean, obviously the Peacemaker is not a hero. The Peacemaker
It's a crazy person.
Is messed up big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that we were shown that, and I don't think they hit it. The fact that he kind of walks off unscathed into the sunset, but he's not really, right? Because we get the hint that his ghost dad is still out there.
Yeah.
Plaguing him, so that we know that things are not all well and good in
maybe it's
Peacemaker
just
land.
like Dominique's just, you know, a fool for loving and she can't help herself.
And maybe we had plans to revisit, you know?
Yeah.
And it just never happened.
True. And this goes back to my thoughts that, like, with all the back matter and all the work, because they did a lot of work on this. I have a feeling Kupperberg thought I got issues 5 through fucking 90 in the can, ready to go. You guys.
Well, or that they knew, like, they thought that they were going to get a second mini or something. Like, I think that any of that is a plausible explanation. Like, I think that I mean, they certainly weren't expecting this miniseries to be pretty much the only time we see Peacemaker in the actual DC universe.
No, there's way too much work done here. There's way too much world building. There's way too much. So let's rate this.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. Like this, an immense amount of world building went into this.
Yeah, like I almost feel a little bad for the creative team because they did work very hard on this. It's not great.
And I don't know how much of this world building they inherited from the creators in the 60s. But
True.
I think it's safe to say that the
Not much.
Silver Age guys probably did not envision.
He was not crazy. The Silver Age Charlton,
they didn't envision all that.
He was James Bond with a helmet. That's all he was.
Right. But like the whole idea about the Institute and the supporting staff and all that, like, I don't know. But
so I personally do not buy Kupperberg saying that he wrote this as some takedown of 80s action, violent, movie heroes and whatnot. I don't buy it.
Why?
It doesn't read like that. It reads like this bizarre friggin' story about a crazy person. And that's not what Rambo was. And that's not what the Terminator was, or Bloodsport, or anything like that's like, did they do violent things? Yes, but they were undoubtedly supposed to be heroes. This character is not supposed to be a hero in his own.
Well, now hold on. Rambo is messed up, man.
I'm not saying he's not messed up.
I mean, maybe not in Rambo 3, but
I'm not saying he's not messed up, but he's doing what he's doing for his country. The first movie is he like the tragic, and he's a tragic hero in that, like where he's mistaken for a bad guy, right?
Sure.
This character is wholesale fucking crazy.
I think you're off base here. I think that this totally does read like a not a takedown, but a satire almost of like the hero that clearly has emotional damage.
Is it funny? Would you call this funny? Because satire also like
not
should
all
have some
satire is
comedy.
funny, and you know that.
Come on.
But I think the idea that all of this stuff went on with Peacemaker, and then at the end of it, he's like, well, wasn't that an adventure? Like, yeah, that's obviously that's a satirical, like, I don't for a second believe that Paul Kupperberg actually thinks that everything is okay with Peacemaker.
That's what I'm saying. But like, this would be tantamount to if Colonel Troutman in the Rambo movies was like, you guys, Rambo is fucking crazy. Rambo is not a well man. Do not bring Rambo in. Like, Rambo is a bad idea.
Well, it would be more like we want to use Rambo to further our own agenda.
And that's what they do, right? He's a weapon, whatever, but they believe because he's going to do the job, not because he's nuts and he's yelling at his dead dad and he could kill a bunch of civilians.
Well, but
anytime.
Clearly these guys believe that the Peacemaker is going to do the job.
Okay, let's rate this. We can go back and forth.
I think the one thing that we can both agree on is that maybe by the end of issue 1, certainly by the middle of issue 2, they should have been working way harder to keep tabs on Peacemaker.
Yes.
Or stop him in any way whatsoever.
Yes. And I think that's where the story could have gone into that satirical, almost like, or
if the Pax Institute was like, oh shit, what have we done?
What monster have we unleashed?
Yeah.
Now we got to keep this quiet and bring it in house and cover up our own crap. Whoops. He accidentally saves the day, Inspector Gadget style. But we also have like a pile of bodies to explain.
Thousands of dead people. Thousands. Probably. Hundreds at least.
I'm giving this a skim it. Because I think they worked very hard, and I appreciate what they were trying to do. I just don't think it was very effective when all is said and done, and you're not left with much to root for by issue 4. You just don't.
No, you're not. And yes, so yeah, this is a skim it, and I agree with you that I feel like Kupperberg's point of view maybe could have been more clear.
I agree. I totally agree.
Because it does seem like by the end, it's sort of an endorsement, right? Where it's like, well, we spent 3 3/4 issues talking about how the Peacemaker should probably be stopped and can't be counted on.
Right.
But hey, it all worked out in the end, so let's go take a shower together.
Yeah, we're also not that interested in finding him. We just like
and doing anything about it
because we don't have any real jurisdiction.
What do you want us to do? We looked for 4 whole hours.
It's also not clear who we work for or what our motivations are, other than stop Doctor Tzin-Tzin.
Yeah, I think that Kupperberg's. It would have been nice if Kupperberg's point of view, his angle on the story, had been more clear because. Yeah. Right. I agree with you that it does not read as a successful satire of 80s action movies, because when all is said and done, they embrace it and they're like, let's get lit.
Yeah.
Everybody, we did it. Job well done. Let's get it hammered. Yeah. And it's just like, OK, well. So, yeah, it's a skim it. I think the art has a lot of fun moments, but also a lot of very incomprehensible moments.
Yeah. Todd Smith is really good when he's good, but he's not always really good.
At the very least, and what saves this from being a leave it is that at no point was I bored.
I'll give you that.
I was thoroughly entertained the entire time.
Yeah, it is action packed whether you like it or not. Sometimes to the detriment.
It's just fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah, sometimes to the detriment of the plot, but hey.
Well, right. Yeah, exactly.
We got to sell comics.
Yeah, it's a skim it. Look, there are better Peacemaker. There are better, more modern Peacemaker comics that are closer to what you want, because of the HBO show. The modern books, especially like Peacemaker Tries Hard, which we reviewed on the show and gushed about.
Yeah, great.
Like that's what if you're looking for a Peacemaker comic, read one of those.
But this is really this is an interesting exercise in looking into where they got the idea for the Peacemaker that we have.
You can see a lot of connective tissue from this to Gunn's version.
Definitely.
That is it for THN 790. Next week, the New Comic Show returns with reviews of 8 new comics. If you need more THN in the meantime, follow the link at twoheadednerd.com and join our Discord. Then join us for the THN Gang Hang on Saturdays at 11 o'clock Central Time.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that stuff, if you're watching us on the YouTube, or give us a rating wherever you download your podcasts. It helps other potential listeners find this show. And we need them. Joe's about to tell you why.
THN is a listener-supported podcast, and it wouldn't be possible without the generosity of donors like our patron, Jimbo Heavey, who I'm trying to convince just because Demon Slayer is a success and it made more money than Fantastic Four, it does not mean I'm going to be mad about it. I'm happy for everybody's success.
Made more money than Superman, the movie, worldwide.
I'm happy for everybody's success. A rising tide floats all boats, Jimbo. If you like what you hear every week and you want access to exclusive THN content, it is easy to support the show, just like Jimbo does. You can sign up to be a patron at patreon.com/twoheadednerd.
And we don't even talk about that manga stuff. I don't get it. This guy. Before we go, this episode shout out goes to our listener, Tommy Trembath, a talented up-and-coming writer whose work will be featured in an anthology called The Childless, which is not, in fact, about Joe and I. It just completed a successful campaign on Kickstarter. The Childless graphic novel is set in a dystopian world where children of divorced or separated parents are sacrificed in the name of family values and population control. We may not be far from this. I've read Tommy's story thanks to a preview provided in the fundraising campaign, and it is awesome. Word to you, Tommy. Friend of the show for a long time now. We are really happy to hear that your work is getting out there to more and more comic fans.
Yeah, I read it too, and it really is very good. Check out The Childless when it comes out. Until next time, true believers, remember to pre-order your comics or your retailer might just assume that you're dead after that blimp accident. This is the Two-Headed Nerd, signing off.
Poor crazy bastard, not pre-ordering his comics.